Welcome back to Steve Sports. Today we're kicking off our preseason West Virginia high school football content, and I figured no better place to start than ranking my top 15 players in each class of West Virginia. In this video, we're going to be covering Class 1A, and keep in mind, these are not recruiting rankings. These are my personal opinion over who I think impacts Friday nights the most. I'm taking into account productivity, versatility, what players have already accomplished, and what I think they'll accomplish this season. So with that in mind, let's jump right into it. Before we get into the top 15, I'd like to highlight 3 players who could find their way on this list next season. First is Ashton Hamrick, running back, Gilmore County. Hamrick made an early varsity impact for the Titans last season, becoming the clear-cut number 2 back in the rotation. He'd rack up 740 all-purpose yards and score 7 touchdowns while flashing his potential as Gilmore County's leader for the future. Next is Wirt County running back Adrian Hartford. Hartford had a breakout sophomore season for the Tigers, racking up 890 yards and 8 touchdowns, which led the team. He's a tough downhill runner who bounces off tackles and should see even more looks with quarterback Tyler Smith and running back Anthony Morgan graduating. This offense should run through Hartford this season. And lastly, dual threat quarterback Bentley McCroskey, James Monroe. Bentley transferred back to his home school from Princeton heading into his sophomore season and looks to be in a position to start this year. The shifty 6'1" quarterback has shown the legs and arm talent to be one of the top quarterbacks in all of Class A. Expect to hear his name a lot this season. Now on to my top 15 rankings for Class A, but before, don't forget to like and subscribe below. At number 15, Cameron linebacker and running back, Taylon Brown. Brown is one of the better collegiate prospects in 1A in my opinion. At 6 foot 180, the class of 2028 athlete has extreme upside on defense, grabbing 5 sacks and 11 of his 65 tackles for a loss in his sophomore year to accommodate his 680 all-purpose yards on offense. He also scored 6 touchdowns and expect Taylon to rise up the ranks this season as he continues to improve. Number 14, Sherman quarterback, Eli Pauley. Pauley finished his second full year as a starter with 2,200 yards and 23 touchdowns. Eli solidified himself as one of the top quarterbacks in all of Single A and helped lead Sherman to back-to-back 8-win regular seasons. The talented quarterback looks to continue his upward trend heading into his senior year and help the Tide make a playoff run. At number 13, Andrew Lemley, wide receiver, Wirt County. Lemley made a varsity impact as a freshman last fall, putting up 740 yards, 11 touchdowns on just 49 receptions. That wasn't the most impressive part of the talented youngster's game. He compiled 81 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 3 forced fumbles, making his presence known as one of the top young two-way players in the state. At number 12, Clay Battelle running back, Caleb Hall. Hall eclipsed 1,000 yards this past season en route to a Class A All-State honors, and Clay Battelle's first double-digit win season in a decade, capped off by their first state championship appearance in program history. Hall, following his brother's footsteps, seems to be in for another 1,000-yard season on the ground this year. Number 11, Dominic Paisani, lineman, Wheeling Central. One of the most physically dominant guys in Single A, Paisani, who's an all-state wrestler, had a great season on the D-line, accumulating 70 tackles, 4.5 tackles for a loss, and 3 sacks. On the other side, he earned first-team all-state honors at O-line, making one of the most dangerous two-way trench players in the state. Number 10, Cameron Sloan, wide receiver, Tug Valley. The Panthers' season was somewhat disappointing last year, but the star wide receiver still played incredible on both sides of the ball. At 6 foot 170 pounds, Sloan has incredible hands and a great first step to seemingly always be open. He put up over 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns while being just as productive defensively, wrapping up 49 tackles and hauling in 4 INTs. He was snubbed from an All-State in my opinion, but I could see him grabbing those honors this year. Number 9, Wheeling Central quarterback, Nico Cusick. Cusick may not have the numbers, but the eye test and a few minutes of film tell you this kid is one of the most talented players in West Virginia. He's a great athlete, and at 6'3", 200 pounds, he has the frame to play at the next level. His tape doesn't show a ton of passing, but the kid can really spin it, and when he does, he takes care of the ball. Most importantly, he's a winner. At number 8, Wheeling Central linebacker Dustin Sanner. Despite a shortened season last year, the impact Sanner made was undeniable. He grabbed 6 tackles for a loss and 4.5 sacks in just 4 games and flashed elite potential when he's healthy. At 6'1", 210 pounds with an incredible upside, he's got a chance to be one of the top linebackers in the state this year. He recently committed to Drake University to continue playing football at the D1 level after his senior year. Number 7, quarterback Corey Cohen, Clay Battelle. Cohen was the quarterback and captain of the Clay Battelle team that made their first football state championship in the program's history. He put up over 2,000 all-purpose yards and 42 touchdowns en route to an all-state selection. He wasn't only a dual-threat quarterback, he also started at linebacker and was one of the driving forces of the runner-up CBs last year. Cohen and Hall looked to help lead Clay Battelle back to another title appearance. At number 6, Cameron running back Marshall Holland. Holland is another slept-on but highly productive player, a 6', 200-pound back who runs with great balance and toughness. He put his team on his back and ran for over 250 yards to upset Wahama in the playoffs and hand the Falcons their only loss of the season. He finished his junior year with over 1,700 yards and 21 total touchdowns while making a second-team All-State appearance. I expect those numbers to be even better this year. And now we are cracking into our top 5 with number 5, East Hardy quarterback Trevor Roof. Roof is arguably the most underrated quarterback in the entire state. Last season, he put up some of the best numbers in any class with over 2,100 pass yards, over 600 rush yards, and 43 total touchdowns. He helped East Hardy navigate one of the toughest schedules in Class A and put up impressive numbers showing his dual threat ability. He's got a great arm, rarely makes mistakes, and has the legs to get himself out of trouble. Expect a monster senior year from one of the most underrated players in West Virginia. Number 4, Treyvon Bearhs, Wahama running back. Bearhs is the latest in Wahama skill guys who have become elite on both sides of the ball. He eclipsed over 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns on offense and was also one of the top ball hawks in the state, picking off 9 passes on defense. He's a part of one of the most talented groups in the state as the Falcons return nearly all their production from a year ago. Expect a huge senior season from one of the top two-way players in all of West Virginia. Number 3, Pendleton County wide receiver Travis Owens. Owens had one of the most impressive sophomore seasons in the entire state, putting up over 1,300 yards and 17 touchdowns en route to a first-team All-State selection. The 6'3" wide receiver seems unguardable at times due to his frame and insane catch radius. He's even shown great ability to run after the catch. Not only do I think he could put up over 1,500 yards this year, I think he's got a real chance at the Randy Moss Award. Number 2, Wahama running back Reezin Stitt. First-team All-State running back with electric speed, Stitt can break any play at any moment of the game. He eclipsed the 1,400-yard mark and reached the end zone 26 times while leading his Wahama Falcons to an undefeated regular season. He also tallied 70 tackles and an interception on defense, making him another one of those elite two-way players for the Falcons. The senior should find his way back on an All-State team after this season as he tries to capture his second state title in 3 years. And finally, we've reached number 1 on my list and the top-ranked player in West Virginia Class 1A, to no surprise, Colton Roberson, quarterback, Pendleton County. Not only is Roberson insanely fun to watch, he put up one of the most video game-like sophomore seasons I've ever seen. Roberson threw for over 3,400 yards, rushed for 1,200 more, and accounted for 63 touchdowns. If that's not mind-blowing enough, he led the Wildcats with 154 tackles, 12.5 tackles for a loss, and 11 forced turnovers en route to being first-team All-State captain. Roberson has garnered interest from multiple D1 schools, including an official offer from Marshall. but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't end up playing safety in Morgantown when it's all said and done. Thanks for watching. Please don't hesitate to let me know below who I ranked wrong in your opinion, who I snubbed completely, or even let me know if you think I nailed the rankings. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a West Virginia high school football fan. Thanks for watching Steve Sports. Have a blessed day.